So today we're filming a video. This is kind of ad hoc. I don't really know how this is going to go. I'm filming into my AT2035 because I've yet to actually invest any real money into audio for the GH4. But I don't really know that I can call it just a GH4 anymore, because what I am looking at is just phenomenal. So the way that the GH4 works when you actually buy it is you get the camera and you can film into many different color modes. You can film up to 4K, you can film a DCI 4K if you want that extra wideness on the sides. But what you can't do is film in Vlog, which is Panasonic's toned down version of their log formats for their higher end cameras. Now what you can actually do is pay for an upgrade for the firmware of the camera, and that means that you can film in Vlog. I just found that I wasn't satisfied with the color that I was getting out of the normal color profiles. I just thought that there was more to the image that I could retain, and it turns out that there was. Buying Vlog gets you more dynamic range of your shot, but what it also does is give you chromatic aberration, and that's what I'm about to show you now. It's those magenta green lines that you end up seeing in more or less the white sections of your video. If I was to film the white wall over there in 8-bit Vlog, you would end up seeing this banding in the image, and that is not what any person who works with color, especially in post, wants to see. Now, there is a fix for this. It's either A, don't shoot in Vlog, or B, buy a 1,500 Australian dollar external recorder that can shoot into 10-bit. And that's finally what I did. I spent a bit of money and I invested into the Atomos Ninja V. And that is capable of filming 10-bit DCI 4K up to 60 FPS, which means that I have a bit of leeway going up. It can also do higher frame rates at lower resolutions, obviously. Film straight to SSDs, which is something that I've been looking for ages. I think the SD cards, while definitely worth it for the lower end, when you start getting to my end, when you're trying to transfer 100 gigabyte files, especially with what I'm going to be recording now, it just gets to the point where it's like, really, do I really want to be doing this through an SD card, or would I rather something more reliable like an SSD? It also comes to the case of I've actually lost the SD card a couple of times in my bag. Don't think I'm going to be losing an SSD inside of a caddy. So first impressions of the Ninja V, I'm actually looking at it right now. The display is just absolutely gorgeous, and a beautiful display. It can go up to 1000 nits. It is perfect for HDR capture. Whether or not the GH4 can actually do HDR is a whole nother question, but I guess we'll find out in due time when I start working on HDR projects. My bad. Should specify the actual recorder is what films HDR, not the output that it gets from the camera. So you could plug it into any camera and it would be able to capture HDR as long as it's got a 10-bit signal coming in. So that was my fault. It's on the website. Should have read it. My bad. In terms of some of the other settings, some of the stuff that I was more interested in, obviously we've already discussed filming to SSDs, but one of the biggest changes for me is filming straight to DNxHR. Now that's the codec I've just switched to using. If you want to learn more about codecs, then go and watch my previous video. That was probably the last video that I will film with a talking head that will be in 8-bit, which is crazy to think. This recorder is more or less going to come everywhere with me. Whatever shoot I go to, I will be filming with this camera. Now, in addition to this, it also means that I don't have to transcode media anymore, which is great, because when I come home from shooting, an event, or I come home from shooting a bunch of content out in the city or something like that, I then have to spend probably around 15 to 20 minutes waiting for my computer to transcode all this media, and that's just not something I want to do anymore. I want to just jump straight into editing, and that's what I can do now. Obviously, the downside is I can't record as much as I would otherwise be able to, but I'm sure that having a look at the dimensions of the caddy that has actually come with the recorder, 90% sure that I could actually build one myself out of aluminium or maybe stainless steel, and that would mean that I can put in my own SSDs into my own caddies. I think a little bit of 3D work might just yield that. In terms of other impressions, the menu is amazing. I've used it. I've set up a bit of a waveform there. It's got information about how peaking works and stuff like that. It's even got an audio visual monitor. It's got framing tips, so the monitor doesn't actually go as wide as 4096, which is DCI standard, but it does shoot more or less in the middle, which is a great thing. It plugs in through a HDMI cable. It's just absolutely fantastic. It works really well with the cage that I have it with right now. It's really easy to use. You know, it just slots straight in on a ball bearing kind of system. I'm looking to get something with my handles at the front. I've actually got handles that I can film with in a shoulder rest, so I'm looking to get that mounted. And overall, it just looks like a really solid, great product. I love the metal finish on the body. It's really nice to feel. And the cooling fan, while some people may complain it's a little loud, I don't hear it. My servers are louder than that, than the fan, so that's a good thing. So yeah, those are my first impressions of the Ninja 5. I just wanted to kind of let you know. Yeah, I have finally upgraded to 10-bit. I'm sure that I'll have some videos coming out pretty soon all about how I color correct and stuff like that. Oh, and one last thing to note, the box experience, personally one of my favorite. I find that a lot of boxes I get these days are just subpar. My AMD processor box was okay when I bought my computer. The graphics card boxes I normally get are pretty good with padded foam. This box was just blew my mind. It's got magnets on the front where the top lifts off, and then it's got this foam padding that the Ninja can go straight into. It's just, it's a beautiful experience. I love it. I love it. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, then please go ahead and hit that like button. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.